Hey guys, good morning. This is the morning for day 6 of the trip, and today is Sunday. So there's going to be people coming in here, so I've already cleaned up my area where I was sleeping. And now we're going to be cooking that today. We're going to be cooking some stuffing today. Yesterday I prepped all my veggies and my bacon and grease, so today we're going to be cooking that. I'm not sure if I'm going to be filming me cooking it. I know I said I might, but I'm not really sure how, but we'll figure this out, alright? Awesome, so see you guys in a little bit. Alright, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to have chopped up already about 1 onion, 4 carrots, and 4 celeries. As you guys can see, I've already bagged them up, and I did it all the night before. You're also going to want to have bacon grease available. I, again, already did all of my prepping the night before and had all the bacon cooked and already ready with the grease and everything. So now that you have your bacon grease already warmed up, what you're going to want to do is get your veggies and pour them into the pot with the grease already melted up. We're going to do this and we're going to saute our vegetables within this grease. As you guys can see, I have these bags that were filled up a bit, but I noticed it was a little bit too much, so I used about a cup of each of the celery, carrots, and onion. Actually, with the onion, I used about half a cup, because the onion is a very powerful vegetable in general, so if using too much would have overpowered the whole dish. So about half a cup was enough for this meal. You're going to want to get the bacon that you had pre-made last night, and you're going to start wanting to mulch that up. What I did is I got like a cup from the kitchen and got a bigger bowl, and I just started mulching it all together because that bacon is also going to be part of your stuffing. It's going to be another one of the things that you highlight within the meal along with the celery, carrots, and onion. Now that you have your bacon already mulched up, you're going to pour it within your veggies and let them all simmer together and let the vegetables finish sauteing along with the bacon. When this happens, you're going to have the vegetables taking on the flavor of the bacon. Alright, and since I am making about 3 bags worth of stuffing, I had to get a bigger pot to start cooking the rest of the stuffing. So yeah, you're going to want to lower the heat a bit because you don't want to like freak out the food when you transfer it to this new pot. You just need it to get in there so you can continue the process. So here I'm getting my oven mitts. We're going to be pouring in the vegetables and bacon into the new pot and get ready to add a lot more of the larger, more liquidous ingredients. Next, you're going to need to get your butter out. I believe my recipe required me to use about 4 sticks of butter. So what I did is just use the 2 big ones there and put the more larger one aside. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to stick it into your pot with your simmering vegetables and bacon and just stir it around a bit. Make sure it gets completely melted, because what you want to avoid is when you're having to add the crumbs and such later on, you don't want to have any bits of the butter still there, because when you start adding the crumbs, all those crumbs are going to gravitate or going to get stuck on on those clumps of butter you left unmelted, and it's going to just start not ruining the meal. It's not going to stir properly, it's not going to work correctly. Now you're going to get your chicken broth and you're going to pour about a little more than half of the container into the pot. Again, I'm making 3 boxes worth of stuffing. So whatever the proper math is for the amount of the cups for each of the boxes, just combine those together and pour that proper amount. I didn't have measuring cups when I did this, so if you can see me here, kind of questioning the amount I put, but it all worked out in the end anyway. And now that you've added your chicken broth, you're going to let it all simmer up until it's brought to a pretty good boil. Now that all of our ingredients have completely mixed together and have brought to a good boil, now we are starting to add the crumbs, or the breading packet that comes in the stuffing box. You're gonna pour those all in together, and then you're gonna start stirring them all together until it gets real nice and thick. And now that we're stirring all the dry ingredients together, you're gonna want to turn off the heat or remove it from the heat and continue stirring from there. And that is about it. That's how you make my stuffing, or the stuffing that I've always made each time for Thanksgiving. And it's a little bit of a weird story how this kind of happened. Growing up, I was that kid who I was interested in the kitchen. I wanted to be helpful. That's what it is. I'm always wanting to be very helpful, so I see my mom cooking things in the kitchen. I'm like, what can I do, Mom? When I was looking at her as she was cooking in the kitchen, what can little Frank do to help you along in the kitchen? What can I do to provide? And after many, many times of brushing me off, I finally asked her, like, hey, can I make the stuffing? I guess she figured it was easy enough to make, so she allowed me to work on it. But I'm a complicated person. I like to make things fancy and weird if I can. So I asked her as I was making it, like, hey, can we throw in veggies in it? And hey, how about the bacon that you use for something else? Can we use that? And my original recipe actually involves turkey broth instead of chicken broth, but in this scenario, I couldn't very well use that. I used what I could. But overall, yeah, this is around when I was like 10 or like 12. I'm forgetting the age I was, but yeah, that was during the time when my mom let me experiment in the kitchen. I learned how to make this myself. And it was during those times that my mom let me kind of have fun in the kitchen that kind of, even to this day, still inspire me in the kitchen to make things fresh and to make things interesting, to make things healthy and different. So now, your stuffing should look like this, real nice and fluffy and kind of like a golden brown with the wonderful colors in there. And yeah, so this is the end of the video. This was part 1. Part 2 of day 6 is coming very soon.